Now we start with forward chart. Okay, based on forward chart, if you refer to our analysis in my last video, and it was within this move, I mentioned we're looking for buy. The question was whether we get this. This is the only correction, or we get more complex correction. Anyway, we get this move. And now the thing is, we want to see whether this one can continue and break any of this. All right. And then because from there, we need to see what's the next. I mean, where maybe the price can correct. Anyway, now the only thing is we need to look for this. Whether we get a small correction as a flag based on lower time frame, or we can get the bigger correction for continuation. All right. Now, based on forward chart, we don't have much information. We want to see how we can trade based on 1 hour chart. Anyway, again, when the price was within this, we mentioned we're looking for buy, and I mentioned if the start of the buy was from here, we get the buy. As long as the price comes to this level, we need to start to manage it. All right. Then again, I mean, if anyone is in this trade, they should at least move their stop loss to at least manage in case this one can give us a bigger correction. That means this one turn to the bigger correction, and this is not only the correction because I explained my last video. Okay, now if we move to 15-minute chart, all right, it depends on the traders how they could take the trade. All right, because as we can see, every time we can get the small correction and continuation. I think the best place was, most easiest was to trade from here after we have this correction. All right, and if anyone get from here, it depends how they trade, is good for them as well. But anyway, anyone is in the trade, now they should move the, I mean, they start to manage, because now the question is whether we can get the small correction, maybe because it's like for the continuation, or we get a bit deeper correction similar to what we have here, then we will have the running flat. Okay, and the possibility of this one to drop and retest this low is low, because at that time we get expanding flat. This, we are not interested in this. Anyway, now if we want to get a small correction for the continuation, but right now we don't have any trade set up. The only thing is we wait. If we get the flag here, we buy. But it depends. Before we buy, we just know. I mean, we see how it's forming, because at that time, if we want to buy in terms of the risk and reward, where is the target and everything we need to consider. Okay. Anyway, right now we cannot jump into the trade. We need to get the small correction, or if we get a big correction, that means the price can drop a bit more. We will be more interested in this, because if we trading, we know what we have it. We have it running flat, and one, if we get a trade, can easily break 1.6 and continue. Okay, and in terms of the risk and reward, let's say with the, whether it depends on the traders whether they want to put the stop loss here or here. Anyway, it depends on them. It can give us a better trade. We are more interested in this. Okay, but if we get a flag, also we take the trade, a small correction, but this one we consider as a short term. Okay, because we consider as a short term. As long as we get into the profit, we start to manage it. Anyway, we don't have the trade set up. We don't need to jump in the trade, because the possibility this one give a bigger, deeper correction to 10, or even the possibility this one retest, then we will have a flat and expanding. But I think this one is most likely. We are not really interested in this. Mostly we can expect, if we're going to correction, to get one more for the continuation. Anyway, we don't have any trade set up, and we just follow the chart. If I see any trade from here, then I will share on YouTube.